thoughts matter, but action is required. So if you're thinking about it and you're not taking action to make what you're thinking about happen, start taking steps. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. I could care less what it is, but whatever you want to do, make your actions count.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wells of Wealth podcast. And today we have a super special guest.
My boy AT.
Turn up, we out here is going down. What it do?
So we have Avery Taylor with us today. Avery, you want to introduce yourself and just tell everybody a little bit about you?
Yeah, so first off, super excited. Anybody watching this, pay attention. You're probably going to pick up some nuggets, but Avery Taylor, as they said, real estate extraordinaire is what I like to call myself. A lot of people know me as AT Sold It, AT Closed It. I usually say that in videos. But yeah, small town guy. And I'm in real estate, if you can't tell yet. But we're going to dive into it. So, I'm excited to be here.
That's what's up. I'm excited. This is going to be good, y'all. This is going to be really good. So
we're going to start off with the words of wealth today. And today we're going to talk about personal branding. So it was befitting for me to give a quote from my boy over here, AT. AT Closed It, AT Sold It. We out here.
We out here. It's going down.
We gotta have AT do it.
Yeah,
so this is how I'm gonna do it for y'all. Yeah. I gotta sit up. So it's AT Sold It, AT Closed It. We out here. It's going down. Let's go.
So if you know Avery Taylor, you have definitely heard that quote.
Absolutely. The kids know it.
I hope everybody knows.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah, I hope everybody knows.
I think the dog knows it.
Yeah. Braxton Hicks. His name ain't really Braxton Hicks. That's just the name I gave him.
I think he know it. But so let's start from the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. Let's kind of take a step back and talk about how did you get into real estate? How did real estate become your thing? And then we can dive into more of building that brand and what that looks like.
Yeah, no, for sure. So real estate was not a path that I was specifically on. I think there's a lot of people that probably watch y'all that don't really know what they want to do yet. And I was one of those people. I had my degree, was working on my master's, had been friends with Derek since 6th grade. So that part was already stable. And you guys had gotten into real estate, Derek first, and then Amanda, you followed. Charles was already in it. And one day we were just at the house and Derek was like, bro, I think you'd be really good at real estate. I had been seeing what they were doing. I had been knowing what was going on from the outside looking in and really from the inside, just knowing because I'm in the friend group. And he showed me a real estate chick. And that changed my perspective.
That's all it took. Huh?
Yeah. Then, he brought Charles in. Charles was trying to close the deal as Charles does. And was like, you should be in real estate. This is how much you would make. And I was like, calm down 1 second. And I got my real estate license after that. And I've loved it ever since. Real estate obviously has its ups and its downs. I just so happen to come in on a high in real estate.
Yeah.
So I try to tell people, if you're getting in it now, just buckle up and be ready for the ride because we're on the down period and we're moving back up. But I came in on the high period and within the first 3 months, I quit my job and here we are now. So
here we are today.
And when I start pitching it to you, that's not something I normally do.
Yeah.
Like you probably maybe 1 or 2 people that I've been like, okay, you need to go into real estate, especially friends, because I know you and I know what my friends' skill sets are.
Yeah.
And so with you, I'm like, bruh, you got it, Doc. I'm like, come on, man. And I know your potential. I know you. And I'm like, you would do phenomenal at this.
Yeah.
And so it was conversation. I was like, hey, bro, you need to do that. Avery like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool with
I was going to keep teaching. I was going to keep teaching and coaching. And I don't know how I was going to keep teaching.
And I was like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nah, bro, you need to do this. You need to get in this game, bro. This is going to be a blessing for you and your family. Like, you need to get into this. And so it's important to have people in your life, number one, that know you,
Mm-hmm.
that sees your potential, and that's gonna pour into you, because you do the same thing for me.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
I think that's you making a good point, because God doesn't always show us our own vision, right? Somebody usually has to say, "Bro, I see you doing this," or "Man, I can see you being successful at this," and then you have to sit back and wait on it, wait for an answer, wait for a sign, or whatever it is. But most of the time, we're not gonna see what we should be doing from the inside looking out.
And not only that, but it's the fact that you acted on it,
right?
Right? Like a lot of times, people can cast vision in your life, but it takes you to you have to have the will to say, okay, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, let me take a step out in faith and actually do this and see what you see in me.
Yeah, because I think it's important, because everybody at some point is going to have a period of time where they become the focal point, and they may not know it. So I usually tell people, when I tell Aiden this all the time, a picture can't see itself in the frame. Right? So the frames are your friends, your family, people that just care about you from a distance. It may be a cheerleader that you didn't even know, and they hit you in the DM and say, you would be really good at this. And then that trigger goes off in your head.
Right.
And you like, man, maybe I will be good at it. And then you try it. So just think about that. Like, the picture can't see itself in the frame. So sometimes you have to listen to the people around you. Not all the time, because they can be wrong too.
Absolutely.
But you just have to take heed at what they saying. You know what I mean? So, and that's what Derek did for me. So Derek said one day, like, I think you would be good at this. I'm a horrible salesman. I tell people all the time, but what I'm good at is I'm good at my truths. And I'm good at doing it my way. And I'm good at relating to people that see it my way. And that's a part of what real estate and owning your own business is just being able to be there for somebody who's not you. Like, these people are going through something. You got to be there for them in your own way, but they have to be able to relate to you too. And that's what Derek saw when he was talking to me about real estate. So it's been on and popping ever since.
So you mentioned doing real estate your own way, like doing your business your own way. And one thing I know about you is out the gate, you were like, look, but not only am I going to dominate it, but if I'm going to do it, I have to do it the only way I know how to do it. And that's just being myself. And so you're not going to see you super buttoned up in a suit and tie every time you step out the house, because you're going to come in what feels comfortable to you and what resonates with you, and also your clientele. So give me a little bit more about why you are, one, you're comfortable, why you're so comfortable in yourself, and why you think that in being yourself, you've been able to build your brand.
So, I mean, to be honest, I wanted to be a person who could sell a $3 million house. And I also wanted to be the person that could sell a $100,000 house. At the time I got in real estate, you could find a $100,000 house, right? But I wanted to be that person. And so I really sat down and I was like, rich people want to feel like they can connect with people with no money. People with no money want to feel like they can connect with rich people. So the only way that I could do that was being myself, right? So I coined the term gangster realtor, right? If you rather want a regular person to negotiate your deal, or you want a gangster. I'm gonna negotiate it the way a gangster should, because I'm gonna get you the best deal. But me being me, I needed to be able to come in and be authentic to who I was already. Whether that was when we were in high school, because we still in the same area that we grew up in, and people that I associate with and help buy houses are usually people that we know from school. Or is that in corporate America, which I was in corporate America. I worked at Fluor, I worked at Worley, I was in the military for 6 years. I needed to be able to associate with them as well. But they needed to see the person that they already knew. So I didn't want to get in the business and try to be Derek. We all know Derek is good at numbers. He was a CPA. He was great at math when we were in school. He did all of the things. I wasn't that. I was AT. What's up? Turn up. We out here is going down. I literally talk to people like that every day. So when I came into real estate, Keller Williams didn't fit me. No knock against Keller Williams. Y'all good, right? Green, whatever their name is. I can't even think of Gary Green. They didn't fit me. No knock to y'all, right? Remax didn't fit me. But a broker's where I had peers already, people that look like me, and no knock against other people that don't look like me, but people that look like me, people that already understood AT. That's where I needed to be. And that's why I knew I would thrive, because it made more sense for me to be able to say, hey, I'm coming in the same way that you knew me already, versus trying to be buttoned up. I like suits. I got a bunch of them. We do it all the time, but I want to be able to say, I don't feel like wearing a suit today. I want Dior. Because I got them too. You know what I'm saying? So Dior. It was what it was, and it's been great, because with Next Home Platinum Realty, we can do the things that we need to do to be successful, and we're not put in a box.
Right.
Right. All of us aren't made to be in a box. And that's what we get when we're with Next Home Platinum Realty, because we say, hey, find out who you are.
Yeah.
Which by the time you get into real estate, most of the time, but we have young realtors too.
Absolutely.
19 and 20. But find out who you are and then dive into that part of it and then jump off the porch.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going to help you make the money, being authentically you.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I tell our agents that all the time, especially when they're first starting out, like prospect in your day to day.
Right.
Like if you're a soccer mom, if you are on the PTO, if you're wrapped up in your kids or whatever the case, that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. Actually, use that and utilize that to build your business.
It's weird because people almost get into their own business, and not even just real estate, right? Like y'all are an entrepreneur podcast at this point.
Yeah.
People almost jump into their business and they forgot what got them to that point of even wanting to start the business.
Right.
You wanted to start the business because you had kids and then you came up with an idea while you were at a soccer game. You wanted to start this business because you were a teacher and you were at school and you was like, man, a lot of people buying houses. I should be a real estate agent. Why not dive into that?
Yeah.
I was already doing motivational speaking, posting videos every day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, tailor-made motivation is already here. People already know me as this dude that's loud. I'm already going to schools and talking to football teams and cussing at my own football team. Why not do the same thing in real estate since people already like me doing it?
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So don't get into a business, whether it's real estate, whether it's, I don't care what it is. Don't get into a business and change you because you think it's going to work a different way. Do what you've been doing.
Right. And not only that, but God created you. As you.
Like, I'm gonna tell you, real talk. My mom said this, and shout out to Sheila. She said, God gonna put you in an uncomfortable situation when it's time to move around. And this was before I got into real estate. Before Derek said, hey, I think you would be a good real estate agent. I was in an uncomfortable situation. Wanted to make more money, wanted to spend more time with my kids because I was coaching. And I didn't like my position. All of a sudden I'm in an uncomfortable situation, and here Derek comes. The signs, the things that you look for to know when to move around. Derek came to me. He didn't have to say that. I'm with Derek all the time. All of a sudden, he like, bro, you need to be in real estate. Matter of fact, look at this check I just got. Okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So you got to follow the signs and follow the steps and know what you're doing. Not necessarily know what you're doing, but know how you're feeling. And then sit down, process it. And when you're in an uncomfortable situation, God may be telling you it's time to move around.
And even when you went full time into entrepreneurship, we were talking, you were like, you had did phenomenal your first couple of months, bro. And so you had made a pretty good amount of money. You like, man, I'm just trying to figure out when I want to make the jump. And I was like, hey, bro, I was like, looking at the factors that you have, the amount of money you have lined up, just how successful your business is going, I think you would be good. But you have to talk to your family, talk to God about it, make sure that you feel comfortable making that leap. And it took you a while, but God started making you uncomfortable.
Bro, that first conversation with J Boo was different. If y'all don't know who J Boo is, that's my wife. She is amazing. She fine too. She fine. The Lord like
dealing with AT, so
she's fine. But talking to J Boo is like, hey babe, all right, so I'm really believing in real estate. And I think that every entrepreneur that's in a relationship, if you are, it should be a relationship where you can come and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. I want to know how you feel about this. I'm thinking about jumping off the porch and doing this. And that's what I did. Like, I think that this is going to be something that I could take off with. This 6 years ago. And we agreed that if I made my salary, then I could leave. I made my salary in 2 months and then I stayed one extra month. So I mean, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? I think in the first 2 months I made like 60 grand, made an extra like 15, close to 20 in that third month. And it just so happened that we were doing some investing and stuff like that. But I made my salary and I was like, all right, cool, I'm going. I went and bought my Jaguar and turned in my key. So but it was a conversation that was had. It wasn't just me jumping out and being like, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's very important too, bringing your spouse into it when you make these decisions. So
it is, because it's a lifestyle change for both of you. Right? Like when we took that dive into entrepreneurship, I went first. And so I had the teacher salary. I was off for the summers anyway. So I was like, let me go ahead and knock this out. Right. But then when we finally got to the point where we decided like, okay, he's going to come out of his job too. And we completely just went full throttle in it. It was a tough conversation because we have kids, we have a mortgage, we have all these things, and we have to make sure that the decision that we're making together is a responsible decision. Right. And so when you're making that decision, you have to factor in everything. And you have to factor in your spouse, and if they're like healthcare, right? We don't have like it ain't
traditional.
It's not traditional. I don't just go and say, oh, I want this plan. All right, cool. Like that's something that we had to really sit down and have a true conversation about to figure out, is it worth you leaving your job for us to go out and do this? And so it really is important for spouses to communicate to each other, each other's dreams and each other's fears, and know that it's a vision that y'all can work on together. Right.
And it's crazy because, I mean, y'all are a sounding board for each other. But then when you become an entrepreneur, you're a sounding board for employees and other people that decide to follow you, like me, right? Yeah. Now you feel responsible for bringing me into real estate. So you like, man, I got to make sure AT good. Like, I don't know how y'all handle it sometimes. I got employees. Me and Derek got businesses together. We have employees, so I'm not going to front like that. But it's just so different when you're in a relationship or with a wife or a husband, have kids, then you bring employees into it because now you're an entrepreneur. And I don't know if a lot of people are even ready for that conversation. Yeah. You're responsible for people's livelihood. Yeah. Plus you're responsible for your own livelihood. Right. You're responsible for your kids. You still want to have a little fun. You got to take care of your wife or your husband. Lord have mercy.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And then not to mention you got the normal people saying, hey, how can I do that?
Right.
Exactly.
Can you spare a few minutes to talk to me about real estate or about investing or about whatever it is? So people don't realize that when you're an entrepreneur, it ain't just like, I'm gonna start this business. Yeah. Your phone gonna be ringing for other reasons other than that business.
Absolutely. You know, and a lot of people think that when they hop into entrepreneurship, they're gonna work less.
Yeah. No.
It's not the case.
We work 7 days a week. I was in Hawaii working.
Around the clock.
In Hawaii working. I was 5 hours behind here. And I was still having to stay up because I had clients that needed questions answered, and I didn't want to wait till the next day.
But that's the side that people don't see. Yeah, right. They just see Hawaii.
Right.
But they don't see the calls you making to me. Hey, D, I'm trying to work on this commercial deal. I need to figure the X, Y, and Z out. I'm out of town. You out of town. We looking stuff up, strategizing, figuring stuff out, and we enjoying time with our family.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of people have a false reality of what the demand of entrepreneurship takes. Yeah. And I think that this conversation is good because it can open people's eyes to see that, yes, you may see the fruit of the labor, but it took a while. It took a long time for you to get here too.
Yeah, for real. I mean, because it's a balance. Yeah. It's a balance, and we done all fought against this balance, right?
Absolutely.
We've had conversations like, Amanda, I'm gonna try to help Derek balance this out because he working too much. Right. Derek done hit me and been like, hey, I was supposed to tell you you've been working too much. You up too late. You need to go. You know what I'm saying? Amanda, you working too much. Go downstairs out the she room. But you know what I'm saying? Like we have all literally had to sit down and be like, all right, let me make sure my priorities are straight because business is business and we want to make money, which we do make pretty good money. But also, I want to take a trip to Disney and enjoy my kids. But guess what? If I don't answer this one call, the next trip may not happen because this is a $10,000 call or a $20,000 call. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize that is that, you enjoying your time. It's good to section it out and know that this is family time and this is work time. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's kind of...
sometimes they just mesh together.
They mesh together.
And it is what it is.
Yeah, like, you can balance it, make it fun. But they definitely gonna mess together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, my kids went into the water. They wanted to take a picture and J Boo was like, let's take this picture. And I was like, let me answer this one call and then I'm gonna take the picture.
Right.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
I still took the picture, but I also still took the call.
Absolutely.
So, it's a balance, and, being equally yoked with your spouse is very important because that equally yoked part is they have to understand, especially if they're not an entrepreneur, they have to understand that I still have to handle my business so we can still live this life.
Yeah.
That's a hard conversation too.
That is a very hard conversation.
That's a real conversation.
It is.
Because I had to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Jessica's a nurse. She runs an amazing charity called Heaven Instead. it's still not real estate though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you still have to have those conversations, and they can be hard too. It can be hard with y'all. Y'all both entrepreneurs and y'all in the same space.
Yeah.
Sometimes she get tired of you and you get tired of her.
Yeah.
But it is what it is because we work in the same space on the same team.
Yeah.
You know, but it makes all of the world go around. So it's all good.
It does. And it all works together, but it's definitely us holding each other accountable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a good community of entrepreneurs, especially when you are an entrepreneur. Like you have to be around other entrepreneurs that know your struggles,
right,
and that can hold you accountable and say, hey bro, you, like you said, you working too much.
Yeah.
It's time to take a step back. Or I can look at Derek and all the stuff he has going on just in the household. And I'm like, hey, take 2 hours. Let's go kick it with the kids.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you want to hop back on your computer afterwards, that's cool. But let's pour into these kids and make sure that they're good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just all about accountability. You know,
It's a give and a take.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a give and a take. So I like it because we have been very lucky. I think that other people aren't as lucky as us because we have this friend group.
Yeah.
Outside of just me, you and Derek and Jay Boo, but we have this friend group, Josh and Elena, you know, Everett and Lindsay. Like we have this friend group, Justin and B.
Yeah.
We have this friend group where so many people are striving to do better.
Right.
And have came from a situation where it probably wasn't as
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my life wasn't always what it is right now, but we have, I mean, I like to tell people we have ran the race and we've jumped all the hurdles.
Yeah.
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 I'm not
That's good.
all the way to the finish line, but I'm at least to the 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still got other hurdles to jump, but they should be easier because I've already jumped 10.
Right.
Yeah.
If I know how to do those, you usually don't get your stride to about the 200. So now I'm in my stride. Like let me put all of this stuff together that I learned from the other hurdles, and let's just keep striding through everything else. And I should be able to finish the entire race.
Yeah.
That's where we are, but we have friends that have also run that same race.
Yeah.
They may be in front of us or behind us, but we can lean on each other and say, bro, you did this. Derek, you done a commercial deal. How does this work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you had an event space. How does this work? Hey, you've done a charity. How does this work? We can lean on people. Hey, you've been a pastor. I'm thinking about doing this. How does this work? I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? Like we can lean on each other and say, hey, our friend group is strong enough to where, I hate to say it, but we don't have to go outside that much. And Drake said it best, no new friends. I like new friends, but we don't need that many because we can lean on each other.
Absolutely.
So when times get real tough, you can say, man, this is rough. Not necessarily I need anything. I just need the moral support.
Yeah.
So that's what I like about our friend group. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. That's good.
And I think it's important, bro, to have people in your life that number one, we can call on in the different seasons. Like Justin, I just kind of spoke life into him the same way. I was like, hey, bro, he had already planned on leaving teaching at some point. I'm like, bro, you got it. Like, and he's on his path to ministry. And when he took the leap of faith, he didn't necessarily know what was next.
Right.
I just want to stop you real quick and just say that if there's a teacher shortage, just because of you,
he taking all the
it's because of Derek, because he took me from teaching,
Justin from teaching.
I mean, I'm just letting y'all know, like, if there is a teacher shortage,
they definitely
y'all come for him.
The kids.
right, exactly.
Sometimes I'd be like, these kids. No, but yeah,
I'm sorry, I done took you all off track. I
I see the provision that God is making for him, and like if for him it was a leap of faith too, and so I think when you walking in your purpose and you have a good support group,
it works
that's
out.
gonna pour into you and be there to support you and help you. It makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
Avery has definitely been there for me.
Oh,
when I'm stressed out, man, they're like, nope, we about to go to Avery house, shut it down. She was like, you need to go over there.
I am definitely the house. If you stressed out, come to my house.
Yep. Whenever I'm like, nope, we need to go have fun, I'm calling Avery
because that's the thing about being friends though. And I tell people all the time, like I have a lot of people I'm cool with.
Yeah.
But it's few and far between when I say this my best friend, this my friend, because I have to pour a lot into people. That's just how I'm built. I've always been like that. So if a friend needs something from me, man, I'm dropping everything. I'm there. Like I'm bringing my guns. I'm bringing everything. If it's a situation, like because that's just how I was brought up. And the people that you really care about, they got to know that you care about them.
Absolutely.
And there's only few ways in today's society that you can really show people that you care about them. And it's not social media. People be like, "No, I told him happy birthday." You told him happy birthday on Facebook. Did you talk to him?
Right.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Like, how did that work?
Did you go out your way?
Did you go out your way? Did you go out of town? Did you really feel bad that you couldn't make it?
Right.
And that's how I think about stuff, because we so wrapped up in this social media world, which obviously we have to use because we are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But I don't want happy birthday all the time through social media.
Right.
I don't want happy birthday all the time through text messages. I want somebody to call me and be like, "Hey, what's going down? It's your birthday.
Yeah.
What you doing?" Because that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might not, I don't think I ever tell you happy birthday on social media, but I'm going to call you. I'm going to show up at your house early in the morning, wake you up, take a few shots, then be like, "What we doing?" I'm going to stay at your house, get in your pool, probably open your fridge. I'm going to make you feel like I'm here on your, you know what I'm saying?
I'm here to celebrate you.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily just a birthday, but the friends, like, you can really tell when you got a friend. Like, I reach out to a lot of people. So that's the difference. Like, I want people to know. Like, I want to be the outlet. Like, you feeling stressed? D, let's go. Come on to the crib. Bring them out to bring the kids. We finna turn up in the backyard, tiki torches, drinks, probably Casamigos. But we gonna do it all. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
And that's how I feel. Like, I want to be that outlet. I think that's important too.
That is important. That is important. And so, I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned social media in different contexts, but I wanted to ask you, your social media for you has been huge. Yeah. Is social media big for me? What is your strategy behind your social media and building your brand and people seeing who you are? Yeah. So to be honest, and I hate saying to be honest, I don't know why I say that, but for real, the one strategy I have is not to miss a Friday. Right. Yeah. And that's because when I was doing tailor-made motivation, I never missed a Friday. Every Friday, somebody got something motivational from me on social media. So like I said, I used what I was doing and I wrote it into real estate, except I changed the videos to say, somebody asked me this last week, let me answer this question. Yeah. That's my first strategy. So if you can be consistent with social media, even if it's one day a week, it helps. And I don't get a whole bunch of views on those, but what I do get is a bunch of shares behind the scene. Right. People will send my video to a friend that was thinking about getting a house and only got approved for FHA loan because I talked about an FHA loan. And then I might not even see it, but they'll call me and say, "Hey, I got your number from this post. A friend sent it to me. I saw this. You were talking about this and I need help with this." Now I got a new client. But also with social media, I feel like that's the first place nowadays that people can really see you be you. Right. Right. So if I get on there and I'm like, "Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the derivative and the percentages of what you're going to close with," that don't sound like it. Yeah. Right. So the first thing you hear, "AT, I heard this. Can you tell me about this?" is going, I'm going to give you what you're going to get in real life. Right. So now you're getting to know me before you even know me. So I think that a lot of people think about social media and they like, "Hey, I want to put information out. I want it to be really, really buttoned up," but you shouldn't do that. Yeah. Put it out as much as you can and put it out as being authentically you. Yeah. Right. And then people will say, "Man, I feel like I already knew him." And then when they talk to you, they be like, "Damn, you just like you is in your video." Yeah. Right. People tell me that literally all the time. But social media, like for me, has been a really big boost. Not that I get a whole bunch of likes, not that I get a whole bunch of people being like, "Oh, I love this" in the comments, but it's really the shares and also knowing what your KPIs are. I learned that from corporate America. People always be like, "I just want to be an entrepreneur," but you can learn from corporate America and then go into being a business owner, because my key performance indicator said that social media for me is a big driver in my business. Yeah. Referrals are number one, but right after that is social media, because I keep track of where every lead comes from. And it just so happens that I get a lot of leads from social media. So diving into it and knowing what you need to look at, I might not be good at the analytics, but I know if I post every Friday, I'm gonna get a deal. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's good, because a lot of people think that you have to go viral to be influential and impactful. And like you said, it's more about being consistent. Right. Absolutely. I think we still talk about the record, and I think I closed 10 deals in 1 month, and only one of them came from a referral. Everything else came from social media. Yeah. 10 deals for us probably equates into a little bit over $100,000. Yeah. If I could do that from social media, I'm gonna keep doing it. Absolutely. If I could do it with 40 likes on one post,
because one person decided to share it, I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I like social media. And if you want to follow me, they can follow me, AT Soda, AT Closed It, AT Soda _ AT Closed It. We'll talk about it more. But go look at it because it's all organic. It's me sitting in my office at my house and giving people content.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Wells of Wealth community. Are you working right now?
I'm just trying to get to the bag, baby, selling these houses.
Really? If you're looking to buy or sell a house here in the Houston area, please contact the Wells team. But not during the podcast. Maybe we can put that away until it's done.
I got you.
Okay. All right, cool.
Back to the podcast.
All right, so that's a perfect segue to our Wealth Avenue. Wealth Avenue is where we give you our tips and tricks for your road to success. And so, Avery, I want to ask you, what are some words of wisdom you have to leave our viewers?
Yeah, really, I just want people to know that thoughts matter, but action is required. So if you're thinking about it and you're not taking action to make what you're thinking about happen, start taking steps. 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps. I could care less what it is, but whatever you want to do, make your actions count. And then you can get to where you want to be in life, because none of us are doing what we want to do without taking action to get where we're going. So stay up and stay positive, but make your actions count.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll go next.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Thank you. So I would say, just in hearing this conversation, the importance of your village, like the importance of having a support of people that know you, that are going to pour into you, that have vision for you, and really making sure that you tap into the network of people that God has placed in your life, because you never know, like you said before, what someone will see in you that you can't see in yourself.
For sure.
And so make sure that you're connecting with the right people. Make sure that once you get that vision or you understand what your purpose is, that you work towards it every day. You're consistent with it. And just sit back and let God do the rest.
I like it.
That's good. You took my answer.
Oh yeah? Did I?
No.
I figured he was going to say something like that.
I was going to say, my takeaway is the power of building your personal brand and being authentic to yourself in doing it. God only created one Avery. He only created one Amanda. He only created one Derek. And he created us with everything we needed to be successful.
All the tools.
And fulfill whatever he called us to do.
Absolutely.
So that was my takeaway. Just being authentic to yourself and not trying to mimic or be somebody else, but be the true version of you.
I like it.
That's good. That's good, guys.
Yeah, I like it. That sounded good. Like we practiced it.
I know, right?
We really didn't, for real.
It's off the dome, y'all.
It's off the dome. Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of Wells of Wealth. Avery, thank you from the bottom of our heart.
I appreciate y'all for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Same,
man.
If
you haven't done it, I feel bad for you, but I had a lot of fun. I feel special.
We appreciate you. Let the people know where they can follow you, how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so on all platforms, AT Sold It _ AT Closed It. My name is Avery Taylor if you want to type me in, but I guarantee if you do those hashtags, AT Sold It or AT Closed It, you'll find me. Look for the videos on Friday. I want to answer every question that I can. If you guys see this and you have a question about real estate, obviously you can ask them. But if you want me to answer it, hit me in the DM. I guarantee you I'll answer them, and it'll go like, I got this question. Here's the answer. I'm going to do it live, and I'm going to always give you what you need. We always working. And when I say we, I'm talking about them too. Holler at us when you need us, and holler at your boy when you see me in the streets. Turn up is going down. I had to do that.
I love Avery. I can't. I love Avery. Well, also be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast streaming apps. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button. And you can follow us on all social media platforms at Wells of Wealth Podcast. And so, again, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. And until next time, bye.